my first opportunity, in fact, the three men in the ring. The referee, Mark Curtis, and of course we want to mention Mark, his bout with stomach cancer last year, is just getting back in the full swing of his refereeing duties for WCW. We're so tremendously proud that he took this time to show up to honor Brian Pillman along with the rest of us. And I had an opportunity to work with him as well as Chris Candido and Al Snow in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And again, we're going to see quite a match, and there's the ECW chant.
Yep, and Al Snow doing his Sabu impression there. This Al Snow, he's now doing his Taz impression.
Right. Can you top this tonight? It's the amateur hour for impersonations starring Al Snow and Chris Candido.
He's an eccentric fellow, this Al Snow, Les.
I'll tell you what, though, we're going to see, once these guys lock up and start some physical combat, we're going to see quite a wrestling match. Both men skilled on the mat. Both men can go to the air. Al with a 20-pound advantage. But, you know, I mentioned to Chris earlier tonight, back in the dressing room, I said, man, the kind of shape you're in now, you're at worst 2 weeks out from a bodybuilding competition. Cut your water, cut back on the carbs, man, and you're going to dial right in. But this is the kind of condition that Candido stays in 12 months out of the year.
He's a walking muscle, Les. You can just look at him and tell not an ounce of fat on the guy. Just in tremendous shape. And Al Snow's really going to have to be on the top of his game to compete with a physical specimen like Chris Candido.
And, you know, I think a lot of people say, well, you know, Snow's got the 20-pound weight advantage. But I think in the power department, Candido, because he, I mean, not that Al doesn't go to the gym, he does. But Chris lives in that weight room, and I think that's where his advantage, if there's going to be one in terms of power, is going to come from.
Well, he's compact, Candido is. Ooh. He about got laid out in the first punch of this match right there. Al Snow just drilled him upside the jaw, and Candido seeking refuge from referee Mark Curtis.
Really? You know, looked like he may have loosened a tooth there.
Just checking to make sure.
You know, we're talking about conditioning, and if you are a young hopeful out there, professional wrestler or a young independent, believe me, look at the physical conditioning of these two men. Wait till the next match. Look at the physical conditioning of Jericho and Benoit and realize that is part of what makes up a top-flight professional wrestler in the 90s.
You see Candido showing off a little bit with that ring entrance, sleeping over the top rope, showing his athletic ability, and all Snow has to do is touch that head and the crowd goes wild.
Right now, it's more psych than anything else going on. And that's, of course, when you get two guys, the caliber of these two wrestlers, you know, you don't rush right in there and stick your chin out to be nailed. You got to take your time because you know the other man is tough, and he is also a good strategist. Both these men, there's again that right hand. Al has used that effectively this early in the match at least twice.
A good, solid right hand right upside Candido's jaw. And now he's calling the ref over there. I think he's had about enough of the close fist punches. And I would say after almost being knocked out twice, I'd have enough too.
I would agree. Chris looking for some sort of sympathy from Mark Curtis, but I don't think he's going to get it there.
You see Al's concerned Chris a little too close to the head. He's informing security of the value of the head.
Yes.
As he places it back.
Oh, he's afraid somebody's going to kidnap the head. If you haven't noticed before, if you haven't seen these two before, they both have "Help Me" written backwards on their forehead.
Whose idea do you think that was? Was that Al's idea or was that the head's idea?
You know, I never asked, but it's something we might check on later. Again, both men back, ready to roll, and circling, looking for kick to the midsection, and that right hand straightens Chris up and jars him with a second one. Hip block by Mark Curtis.
Did I just see Mark Curtis hip block Chris Candido?
Yes. Al Snow dropped down. Curtis happened to be standing there when Candido came over.
It was almost a reflex reaction, too. Look at that, another right hand.
Baseball slide between the legs of Al Snow, and Snow nails Candido. Chris may think he's in a handicap tag here before it's all over.
Mark Curtis basically just hip locked Candido to avoid being run over. And now Candido caught in that chin lock. Snow's rocking back, putting some pressure on the spine and the neck.
One fall, 45 minutes, and 5 minutes of that is
gone. Power right there, Les.
Oh, yeah.
Power of Chris Candido. Nice counter to Hurricane Rana by Snow for the 1-2. Candido's back out.
Well, you talk about balance. To be able to make that spin and take his man over all in one move says a lot for the balance of Al Snow. Right now, the reverse chin lock used like a camel clutch. We're going back to the old Sheik or to the more current Iron Sheik. Both men made this hold very popular.
Again, Candido with ease just picked Snow up off the mat. Ooh, power bomb that time.
He was set for him. He saw what Snow was going for. Yeah. Al telegraphed it, went to the well once too often, as they say, and driven into that canvas with a power bomb.
Now Candido going up. Again, in addition to the strength, Candido also somewhat of a flyer, and he's about ready to fly. Courtesy of Al Snow, right to the center of the canvas.
Candido coming up slowly. Snow going topside now.
Taking way too long.
Candido taking advantage of that, drives him off that top rope, off his perch and onto the arena floor. And there's the ECW chant once again.
Wow. Candido just soared over that top rope. Nice dive out to the floor.
Plancha.
Plancha.
I've been listening to Mike today. Trade. Oh, listen to them right hands by both men. Candido tearing at the eyes now. And now they're going to ECW style as they hit the arena floor. And, of course, that's where a lot of the ECW stars excel.
There you go right there. He's choking him with the rope. Of course, anything goes in ECW. And these two men are used to fighting outside, fighting inside, fighting with whatever isn't nailed down. And
Al crawling towards the mannequin head.
Yeah. He needs some inspiration at this point.
The fans with their heads at ringside. The phenomenon known as the head. Look at here. Got him up.
There's some power right there.
Yes, sir.
The blood rushes to the head of Al Snow. That's gonna make him dizzy. It's gonna weaken him. Followed by the slam to the canvas. That took a lot out of Al.
That was a driver of some sort. I'm not sure what Chris would call it, but it wasn't just a conventional body slam, as he caught most of the brunt of that drive on the upper part of the shoulders, the back of the head. Reverse chin lock now. This is pretty basic. But again, you know, both these men skilled in the classic mat maneuvers. Don't get me wrong here. When we talk flying, wild, wrestling, brawling, these guys are both classic mat men. Candido trained by his grandfather initially, and as a young child even was lucky enough to get to work out with my childhood idol, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Al Snow, a campaigner of 13 years in the independents, and
a trainer of young wrestlers himself.
That's right, exactly. Al has the Slammers Gym in Lima, Ohio, as his training center.
That'll scramble your brains a little bit. A little kick from Chris Candido right upside the head.
But you know, Dean, when in negotiations to set these bouts up for the Brian Pillman Memorial, the four gentlemen in the two main events, I felt were more of the same type, style, mindset of Brian Pillman himself. Consummate professionals, they go out in that arena. I don't care the size of the crowd. They give you 100%, and they themselves are very respectful and proud of the sport we call professional wrestling.
That's what's amazing about all the athletes tonight, Les. None of them doing this for any money. They're just out there with their heart on the line. They're out there for the spirit of competition, and they're out there to give the fans a heck of a show. And Al Snow now delivers those elbows to the ribs, ducks a clothesline, slides through the legs of Candido. Candido catches him with the boot and follows up with a beautiful spinning neck breaker.
Yes, he did.
Al Snow just tried to take the situation by the throat, literally, as he grabbed Candido's Adam's apple and squoze, but Candido countered with a shot to the eyes, and now right back to that chin lock. He's wearing Al down, and the fans are really rallying behind Al, trying to help him make a comeback against Candido.
You know, Al Snow really came into his own at Smoky Mountain, then was put under contract with WWF.
Became a rocker.
Yes, but I think really given more his head to develop his own persona, his own style in ECW. And when I say given his head, I didn't mean that as a pun, but I realized that it was.
Good choice of words. He's definitely been given his head. But he's found a persona that he seems very happy with. The fans love it. And the way they rally behind this guy, it really helps him get into these matches and definitely gives him an edge when he's in that ring.
Check that muscular forearm out on Chris Candido. I'm an old bodybuilding judge. What can I tell you? I look at symmetry and vascularity. But Candido straightens over with a third chop. Snow spins him back, and he starts throwing him.
How many is that?
I've lost count. Enough to stun Chris. Good right hand, though.
Yeah.
Candido's still in this one.
A little wobbly. Both these men, they've taken a lot out of each other, Les. And right now, Candido remains on top as he picks Snow up and shoots him into the ropes. Again, Snow through the legs. Oh, Candido went for that boot to the gut again, perhaps to set up another neck breaker. Snow catches the foot. Oh, he catches Snow's foot. Enziguri to the back of the head. And now is when Al Snow needs to turn it up. He needs to reach down. You see him looking at the fans.
Enziguri, you've been going to the Mike Today School of Broadcasting too, right?
Sounds like a stomach disorder, doesn't it? Big right hand from Al Snow.
Oh, and another one drops Candido.
He's reaching down for everything he's got right here, Les.
You're right. Look here, he's got the head.
Oh, boy.
Gonna nail him with it.
He sure is.
And listen to the fans. Head. Candido face first onto the canvas.
More words of encouragement from the head. Al Snow now shooting Candido in, sets up. High, beautiful back body drop. Well, Candido, now the tables are turned. Candido's in a lot of trouble here.
Candido landed on his feet, though. Was able to keep his balance through the rope.
There's a plancha for you.
And that was 240 pounds. We're not talking about cruiserweights here.
Nope. Both men, this match has taken their toll on both these guys.
I'll tell you what, the fans here at the Norwood Fieldhouse have been entertained tonight. We have had good, solid wrestling from the very opening match. Trailer Park Trash and Nick Densmore right up to current. We're into the first of our two scheduled main events. Al Snow against Chris Candido. And, of course, coming up next, the WCW Cruiserweight World Champion, Lionheart Chris Jericho, will battle the Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit. Look at there. Power bomb.
Snow telegraphed the backdrop. Candido capitalized by turning it into a power bomb, but falls down himself because he's taken quite a bit of abuse here from Al Snow in the last couple of minutes of this match.
It hasn't been a walk in the park, and the gas is gone out of the tank of both Candido and Snow. Let's see who's going to be up first. A double count. Candido to his feet first. Snow pulling himself up by the ropes. Arm whip over the top. Ducks the clothesline. Clothesline of his own. Good reversal by Al, and takes up. There's a block, but he doesn't care. Throws that right, and those right hands have been effective for Al Snow tonight.
Definitely. High, beautiful cross body. Candido rolls through. 2 count. He just about had him there, Les.
Both guys have been close to pins on at least a half dozen occasions so far in this competition.
It's anybody's match at this point. Look at both with a right hand. They're out on their feet, leaning against each other.
As the ECW commentator would say, oh my God!
Candido hits the, oh, look at that! A body slam from Mark Curtis. He's in there to defend himself. There's not, you know.
And I'll have to parody Joey Styles once again with another oh my. Oh, look here! I thought Snow had him with the schoolboy. Look at the, oh man.
Roll up. Again, Candido just a second away from victory.
And he had to reverse the leverage on that in the middle of the move.
Beautiful wrestling and counter wrestling on the part of these men.
You know, Dean, as an old-timer at this sport called professional wrestling, 20-some years ago, I was considered a flyer by doing flying head scissors and drop kicks. But listen, there's some of these moves that I couldn't even begin to think about trying. And in the 90s, that's what you're seeing. Guys at 220 and 240 flying around that ring like they were 190 and 180.
Well, the name of the game of professional wrestling, entertain the fans, and these guys are always coming up with new ways of hurting each other for the enjoyment of the fans. And we're going to see a superplex here from Chris Candido from the very top rope, and that had to take its toll on Al Snow. And Candido as well. He's slow to make the cover. 1, 2, oh. That was so close.
Yes, it was. 2 7/8 at least, as Mark Curtis barely pulling his hand up. And of course, we want to mention that Mark Curtis took his one day off and over this week to show up here at the Brian Pillman Memorial for us. His fiance is in the house as well. He and Pam are getting married. It will be a week from tomorrow in Morristown, Tennessee.
Ooh, face first.
Wow.
Candido, I'm not sure if he knows where he is right now. Al knows where the head is, though.
Yes. Candido was trying to set up that same cradle move, and Snow again read him right and drove him face first into that canvas, used him almost like a hammer, as though you would drive a nail. Al first to his feet now, and as we've mentioned several times, this match is taking a toll, and as we said, these men have traveled to Cincinnati, to the Norwood community of Cincinnati, to give of their time. They are not getting paid for this event, but they are certainly giving you a $1 million performance.
No question. And Al Snow setting him up now. Perhaps another superplex attempt coming up. No, Candido counters, shoves Snow off, steps inside to the second rope. Oh, he was going for a drop kick or perhaps a Fez press there.
And caught the ankles, jumped him.
Ooh!
Saskatoon again.
Yeah, down there around Saskatoon. Wow.
Candido can't even talk. It took the wind out of his
sails. That speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Because I don't have words for it. Double count by Mark Curtis, both men coming up slowly, and we've seen this at least 4 or 5 times in this contest.
Yeah. These two are going at it tooth and nail. Snow uses the ropes for some momentum there with the big right. Ooh! Just sticking him upside the head. Oh, wow. Split leg version of a... Oh, 2 count. Split leg version of like a sidewalk slam.
Yes.
Spine buster type maneuver.
Pretty move by Al Snow. And we said all the wrestlers on the card tonight have journeyed to Norwood in the municipality in the center of Cincinnati to pay tribute to Brian Pillman, a great wrestler in his own right. And I think Brian, if he's looking down at us, would certainly be smiling, enjoying every match tonight, Dean.
Oh, there's no doubt. Ooh, he missed the moonsault. Candido's, look at, he's right up right away. He's going to that top rope. He's going to capitalize on this, Les. Missed the headbutt.
Going for the slam.
Oh, Candido able to shift his weight. Hey, that's Sunny.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
And in another costume change. And she gets, of course, I don't know if I want her to slap me like that, but she gets better looking every time she shows up out here, Dean.
That's her LOD 2000 gear, Les. She's in there. She means business right now. And she's in a lot of trouble, though.
Is he gonna?
Snow's gonna slam Sunny.
Or give her a tombstone? Nope. Candido from behind. And if you didn't know, we're gonna tell you that Miss Sunny is engaged to the blonde gentleman in the ring, Mr. Chris Candido.
I'm glad you told me, Les. The Michinoku driver was enough to beat Chris Candido. Al Snow comes out on top despite the interference of Sunny.
And as pretty as she is, Al Snow with the Michinoku driver, your winner in our ECW main event over Chris Candido. As you see Miss Sunny trying to bring Chris back
That's
around.
not a bad consolation prize right there.
No, it's not. And there's Al with the head.